Hey y'all, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to expand on my most popular YouTube video ever, which was tips for fine hair. I'm going to give you more tips for fine hair because apparently we got a lot of fine hair people out here that need more tips, and I'm going to give those to you today. All right, so let's go. Now I'm going to try to give you some original and unique tips today, so if you want to go back and catch up and watch that first video, do that and then come back and see us. So here's the first thing that I want to say. This is like a styling tip for fine hair. When you have finer hair, you want to do smaller and more sections. So I'm going to tell you a little story about this. When I worked at my first salon out of hair school, it was in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I worked next to this woman named Sue who did like the most incredible Golden Girls style sets. She would have like 50 older ladies a day come in and she would just crank out these curling iron sets on these little old bitty ladies. And sometimes these women would come in literally having like 5 hairs on their head, like no hair. And they would walk out with these big, puffy, full looking heads of hair. And I was like, Sue, how do you do this? And in fact, one time I had to do a curling iron set on one of her clients when Sue was gone. And what she told me was, you have to do more sections. The finer the hair is, the smaller the section needs to be, and that will give a much fuller look. If you do big sections on fine hair, it's gonna make it look even flatter, even thinner. So you really wanna go in, and actually this is an important tip. Ooh, I almost spilled the water. So your round brush, this is my hair in this, so don't judge me, but your round brush, this diameter right here, that should be the size of section that you're using when you style. So if your hair is really, really fine, get a smaller round brush. It's gonna make it look fuller. Don't do a big ass brush, do a little brush and do littler sections. That will make your hair look infinitely fuller. Last time we talked about volumizing foams or mousses. I love our JVN hair and body mousse. There's one product though that we do not make that I also love, which is a volumizing spray. If you can find a volumizing spray or a texturizing spray, those will typically make more thick, more dense feeling hair. I love volume. There's one called Volumizing Tonic by Aveda. So Volumizing Tonic has been around since I went to hair school in literally 2005. This product, it's almost 20 years old at least, but I love that volumizer. It's really beautiful. I also love those little like sprinkly powders. Those are great to kind of give you more fullness. So there's this incredible powder called Toppix, Toppiks. You'll see it a lot on like TikTok, and people like, they just came out with this new thing that's like, it's like a marker and then you can kind of like, and then you blend it in with this little spoolie thing. It's great for filling in your hairlines, thickening up your part. And and also there's like a shaker one where you can just kind of move your hair and shake it on your scalp. And it just like fills in that like thin scalp looking situation. I love Toppix. It works really, really well. It's very popular. Try one out. I would suggest though that when you're getting into a Toppix powder, when you're like, I want to do this, test out, like get the color that you think you need and then get one color like lighter and darker and test them out, or maybe test it out in a store. I will say though, and there's no like scientific evidence to back this up, but just from years of doing hair, my clients that used a lot of Toppix, you do want to make sure that you're like washing that out. I worry that if you use it every single day and you're not like clarifying and really getting that off your scalp, I worry that it just kind of like plugs up the hair follicles. Don't sue me, Toppix. I'm not saying it does do that. I'm just saying that I just think that when your hair is finer, and especially if you're suffering from alopecia, your hair is just getting finer over time, you want your hair follicles to breathe. You want them to have you want them to not be suffocated. So you don't want to like layer Toppix on Toppix on Toppix on Toppix without washing it off. Dry shampoo can be really nice for fine hair. If you have fine hair, even on clean hair, you guys. So even like washing and conditioning and styling your hair, even on that day one hair, put a little dry shampoo in there. It's gonna thicken it up, it's gonna full it up, it's gonna fatten it up. It gives you a little bit more, so that's gorgeous. This one's gonna be a little bit of a like, what? The importance of moisture for fine hair is really important. When your hair is fine and you want to have as much hair as you can, a lot of times people will just go, they just don't do conditioner and they just kind of go full blast at their hair all the time. If your hair is fine, it's going to be more prone to breakage. So you do want to condition even fine hair. You just want to find one that's a little bit volumizing and not going to weigh the hair down, but will deliver a little bit of moisture. I'm obsessed with our Embody shampoo and conditioner for this, but our Embody conditioner is gorgeous. It uses aloe leaf juice to create moisture, which is very lightweight. It doesn't weigh the hair down. So making sure that you do have some amount of moisture or some light leave-in conditioner, because when your hair is fine, most fine hair people are heat styling their hair to achieve fuller hair. So just a light leave-in conditioner, some amount of heat protection in there is really important, because you don't want to create more breakage and more fragile hair when it's already fine and you're heat styling it. That is like so important. Now, this is more for like fine-haired people that have like a little bit longer of hair, like at least like, you know, like a little like lip length bob or like a little Bixie cut or just something that's like a little bit finer and longer. Change up your part. That's gonna make it look a little fuller, and also get fringy with it. One of my favorite mentors in my career has finer hair, and she always rocks a bob. And she used to rock this fringe that came from like really far back. She just didn't have that much hair to like make a fringe, but that made her hair look so much fuller. So your part and like this top of your head, if it's looking really scraggly, maybe try thinking about a fringe. That could full it up, thicken it up. Also try switching the part. That can give you a little bit more volume, create a little bit more fullness. That's gonna be really helpful. Don't be afraid of extensions or a wig. If you have telogen effluvium, or if you just have like alopecia that's just not getting better, it's not gonna recover, don't be afraid of wearing wigs. Don't be afraid of an extension. And also don't be afraid of rocking your natural hair. If you have telogen effluvium or like alopecia areata or traction alopecia areata is typically not permanent. It's like where you have like spots, like bald spots. If you have bald spots or like traction alopecia from like years of ponytails or too much extensions, in those cases, you really, in my opinion, want to stay away from consistent wigs or extensions. Like, it's okay to have it for a moment, but to let those come back and heal and recover, if you want your scalp to heal and recover, it really needs to breathe. If your fine hair is something that consistently makes you feel insecure, you've tried every single thing in the book for fine hair, and you're still not vibing it, and you're still not confident in it, don't be afraid of extension. Don't be afraid of a wig. Now, I will say, wear whatever the hell you want. Do whatever you want with your hair. It is your hair. But if your hair is so fine that you can see the extensions just right straight through there, I do wonder about just incorporating a wig into your life. Because the extension and the cost of the upkeep of the extension, the damage that it's doing to the hair that it's attached to, it might be better to just have a wig, throw it on, go out in the world, do your thing, and then when you get home, be able to take it off so that your scalp can breathe and like that hair can breathe. Because I just see certain people when their hair is like really, really fine and you're seeing straight through to the scalp and you can see like full on clips like all the way through the hair, even when it's placed correctly, but it's just too low. At that point, and again, do whatever you want. Rock your hair, I love you, and it's great. But at that point, it's probably, is it time for a wig? Or is it time for a topper? Guys, if you don't know about a topper, I'm so obsessed with toppers. Toppers are for people who have just like hair loss up here, but they still have hair on the sides and the back, and it's this little like clip-in thing, and you can just like clip it right here, and it gives you a little fringe, gives you a little topper. If you don't know about a topper, get into toppers. They're amazing. We love a topper. And here's the biggest tip for fine hair. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't like your hair and you are just not, don't be afraid to ask a professional. Don't be afraid to ask an expert. There is no shame in asking questions. I wish I would have known so much sooner to ask for help. Ask someone. Someone is willing to help you out there. You just gotta ask. And even if you get rejected and you ask and someone's like, I don't want to, or I don't know how, you'll find someone that does. So if you really don't know, ask. That is such a huge help. It's really important to be gentle with the hair when you're heat styling. So when you're blow drying your hair, if you're curling ironing it, it's Gotta have a lightweight heat protectant in there. I'm obsessed with our instant recovery serum. It's so lightweight, just a little tiny bit'll do you, and it's gonna protect the hair. Because if your hair is already fine, when you're heating it up, it's going to be more prone to breakage. And when your hair is fine, you don't want your hair to break because it's going to make it look thinner and finer. So when you're heat styling, you really want to make sure that you're protecting your hair from the things that you're putting it through. So a lightweight heat protectant is really, really, really important. Try out some hair color. So when your hair is not color treated, the outside of your hair is the cuticle, which is what is called the outside of the hair, is called the cuticle. The cuticle almost looks like fish scales or like tree bark. It kind of is all the way on top of each other. When you color it, whether that's with highlights or an all over color, it kind of makes the cuticles lift up. It kind of roughs them up. So instead of your hair being like this from the side, it's more like, this. So it creates a fuller appearance to the hair. So you could get curious about a color treatment. Now I will say, sometimes if you have really, 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 really fine hair, and if your hair is like kind of, if you're really losing it around your hairlines, and then you do highlights, sometimes highlights will highlight the problem. So sometimes it's better to just do an all over color. It depends on like what your hair fineness is looking like and where the fineness is. It also depends on what color your hair is. If your hair is really, really fine and it's really, really blonde, highlighting it can sometimes be good. If your hair is medium blonde, like dark blonde, and you highlight it, sometimes it can make it look thinner. So it really depends on what you're doing. And so really what I'm saying is sometimes it's better to make the hair color more rich. Like give it more pigment and that can or give it more dimension, and that can help to fatten it up and give it a little bit more. Now here's another thing that we're seeing a lot right now, which has kind of changed since we were here last time. So perms. Perms are back with a vengeance, and not just for short hair. Long hair too. We are seeing so many body waves that are kind of becoming cool again, and body waves and perms can really make fine hair look way bigger. And in fact, my story that I was telling about before about Sue, my old station buddy at my first salon in Arizona, and I was a teenager, she was perming everybody's fucking hair. Every older woman that came in there with one of those little golden girl haircuts, they all had perms. All of them had perms. And like my grandma, for instance, she had such fine hair. It was fine in amount and very fine individually. Like hair per square inch, plus each hair itself was very fine. She got the shit permed out of her hair, and it made it look infinitely fatter. So don't sleep on a perm. And the perms have come a long way since back then. We have a lot softer perms now. They aren't as aggressive. They aren't fully blowing the hair out as much as they did. And also our conditioners are more refined and our styling products are more refined now. So it's like, even if you do have an aggressive perm, you can kind of like give it the love back into the hair, but you keep that new texture. So don't sleep on a perm for fatter hair as well. Now this is a great trick for fine-haired people, but it's also good for thick-haired people. This is just good for when you want more volume and more lift. When you're styling your hair, flip your head upside down. Just throw your hair upside down and let gravity do that work and kind of pull it. It will just make your hair be fuller if you blow dry your hair upside down. And also, for our fine-haired friends, I have been on Propecia like since I was 19. Like literally. I noticed that my hair was getting thinner when I was like 19, 20. I got on Propecia and it has basically stopped my hair loss ever since. Like my hairline's doing pretty good. I don't really feel like it's moved very much. And I'm all up on the Propecia. So that is a doctor's thing. You need a prescription for it. It's like giving Hims or Hers or whatever. And you do need to get a doctor for that, but that really works. And I also do like those topicals, like your topical Rogaine. Now, when it comes to hair vitamins I think are like, okay. I don't think that they're gonna hurt anything. I have been told by a lot of nutritionists and doctors that like the vitamins that we need for our hair to be strong is already in the food that we're eating, but maybe if your diet isn't complete, you're gonna maybe want to supplement that with something that can help hair strength and hair fullness, like your Nutrafols and that sort of thing. But I just want to remind you, Nutrafols and hair vitamins literally cannot impact the hair that's already out of your head. It can only impact the new hair that's coming out. So for sure, try a vitamin if you're a finer haired person, but that's not going to like magically make the hair that's already out become fuller. It's only going to impact the hair that's growing out as you're taking it. So it's just an important thing to think about so you don't get like, you know, unrealistic expectations. I think this is the biggest tip that I have for fine-haired people. We live in a beauty culture that teaches us to compare ourselves to other people. We live in a beauty culture that teaches us to not be transparent about how we've achieved our looks. So when you're looking at, you know, Photoshop, or when you're looking at photo shoots, or you're looking at magazines, and when you're looking at TV, movies, like one that pops out to my head, I love Jurassic World with Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. But if you remember, who has on 4-inch heels and is running away from dinosaurs and their bob is perfectly coiffed the whole time? Fresh blow dry the whole time. You have to remember that when you're seeing people on TV, when you're watching scripted and unscripted television, there are people there that are helping these people manage their hair and their makeup. There's extensions. In fact, for scripted work in Hollywood, there are hairdressers and whole hairdresser teams who are doing whole mood boards, whole like character write-ups on these looks. And when you're like, oh, I like her hair, why doesn't my hair look like this in this movie? That's why. So just don't compare yourself to other people and understand that you are beautiful. Your beauty is resplendent. And I don't say that lightly. I mean it. You are beautiful. The fact that you are here when it could have been the egg next to that egg, and it could have been the sperm, the next sperm over swimming. It is a literal mathematical miracle that you are here. So that is amazing. So don't forget your beauty. Don't forget your worth. If your hair is fine, honey, I think that we live in this world that makes us feel bad about ourselves when we compare ourselves to other people's. And there's a lot about that with like fine hair, thin hair. Oh, my hair is fine, it's thin, I'm scared of it. No, you're beautiful, you're stunning, even if you got fine hair. So you're allowed to play with your hair, you're allowed to thicken it up, you can do all of these things that we're saying. But I just don't want any of you watching this to think that just because your hair is some type of way, that it impacts your worth, because it doesn't. You're beautiful, you're worthy of celebration, love, and acceptance from yourself and those around you, no matter what, okay? And don't forget it. I love you, you're a hot bitch, you're a hot slut, I'm obsessed with you, I'll see you next time on our YouTube. You are what? That's what I thought. Beautiful. Okay, I love you guys so much. We'll see you next time on YouTube. Bye.